All right, yo, what's up, everybody? So I have Mr. Lavine here with me. We're gonna do a post-draft analysis for everyone. Just want to kind of start this out with a small apology if this is a little lackluster, a little all over the place. Lavine and I are on completely different time zones. We got a pretty big gap between us, but we did want to get a post-draft analysis out to everyone. So we're just gonna kind of wing it and YOLO it and see how it goes.
Yeah. And the numbers you see at the top, right next to the names, like Alex 2.5, Glass 2.25, etc., those are like the weighted averages of all the captains who listed the power rankings. So a lower number is better, and higher number is worse, of course. So Lavine 1.25, that's really good. Means a lot of the captains predict my team to do well, and on Real is 4.75. That's pretty bad. Most people have him finishing in last place. And then there's a lot of teams in the middle. Alex, Glads, Bailey, pretty evenly distributed. What do you think about this, Bailey? The teams at the top. I guess we'll
Um,
go into the power rankings in a bit, but just like your first thoughts on that.
yeah.
Do you think it's fair to put my team first and Unreal's right at the very bottom?
Um, I think this comp is really unique. I think this is probably one of the first comps in a long time where you have five really good captains, and five really good teams. I think the teams are pretty well balanced. I think any five of these teams can definitely win the comp, as well as the reasoning behind that is being this skill is brand new. This is probably the first time I think that there's been a comp where it's you only train one skill and it's like the entire HLC competing. Obviously, we have some lower end people, but I mean, I don't even know how many. There's probably 30 people on this list that are 200 mil all. I think this is a very unique comp. But yeah, I think the teams are very well balanced, which is I'm really happy with that. I really hate comps where there's five teams, but there's two teams that are competitive, and then there's just like three teams that are completely cooked from draft. I really dislike comps like that. So I'm really happy with the turnout. But yeah, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. Like, first of all, it's hard to tell who's gonna win, like just based off of the names. But not only that, but it's also that it's a, like you said, it's a totally new skill. People don't know how to train a skill, and nothing is figured out. So, like, the hours are gonna be all over the place. Like, if you play, like, there could be two players, identical players, who put in the same amount of effort of 100 hours, for example. But like, one will drop 60 HP worth of sailing, and another will drop 90 HP worth of sailing because it's so random and there's so much strategy and like how the method is trained and stuff like that goes into it. There's so many curveballs, so many unknown variables. So yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see. Like, I think it's really hard to tell because it's not like a regular comp where it's like, okay, you will probably, if you play 100 hours, you will get 1-to-1 effort. It's pretty straight on. There's so many unknowns with this release. I think it's basically like if you had like a competition for, let's say, I don't know, like some of the league stuff or Deadman mode, something like that. Like, two people playing 100 hours, like they would be so different, like so different progression path they would be on. Like, and yeah, I think that's gonna be true for this as well.
Yeah, it's exciting. Um, so from here, do you want to kind of review like the first three rounds, maybe first two?
Yeah, I think we'll talk about the first couple rounds, and then we can go into our power rankings after that.
Okay. Yeah, I specifically want to talk about the first five picks initially,
Yeah,
because as a
like
captain,
Necro all first. What do you think?
I mean, as a captain, I was very vocal about this. I think the first two picks are guaranteed. I think it's Necro or Enjoys. Um, I think those are your two people that are likely going to be rank one and two. Um, I think obviously with Alex being first pick, I think you're going to see him pick Comfort. He's good friends with Necro. They're both leaders in Solace. I think also the way Alex is going to draft. before you even see his draft, you know he's going to pick Comfort and Friends. Doesn't surprise me, but I think Enjoys is probably like if I was first pick, I think I take Enjoys there. Just because he's quite literally one of the developers of the skill. I think he's going to play a shit ton. Um, I think I think if I'm Enjoys, I think I am just like destined to get rank one. I think I you just have to get rank one if you made the skill and you're capable of those high hours. Um, but I think Necro is he's definitely not anyone to sleep on. I think he's a great player. You know, he's coming off the back end of just finishing Tournament All. He's already locked in. You know, enjoys. I don't think he's been playing near the hours Necro has. You know, he's not probably used to it. You know, Necro also just came out of Fantasy where I think he was ranked 2 or 3 overall for the entire Fantasy comp. I think he did multiple 140s, multiple records even. He broke the Slayer Week record. Like, this is a great pick and a no-brainer.
Yeah. And I would also like you mentioned Necro and Joyce. For me, Fast also falls into this group. Like I would group Necro and Joyce fast as like a group of three that are like high priority picks, the highest priority picks in my opinion. So like the fact that I got him in fourth place, like Fast in fourth place, obviously really good for me in my opinion. But yeah, Necro and Joyce fast for me, like the three top picks. Um, yeah, and I also like between Necro and Enjoys, like for me, I would also have taken Necro if I had the chance. If I was first of all, I also go Necro like Alex did here. I would have done the same thing. But that's more like a personal thing because I get along well with Necro and I don't talk so much with Enjoys. Not necessarily because I think he will gap him by a lot, but for me it's also gonna be Necro here, rank one.
Yeah, my rank one, please. Um,
Please.
but yeah, going into the later picks, obviously we have VSD number 3, and we've already talked about Fast, but I also picked. I'm gonna group my duo together, DB Cooper and Tort. Um, I think the VSD pick was. I predicted this to some people before the draft. I kind of like was struggling with figuring out who Unreal was going to pick there on 3. I didn't know if it was going to be VSD, Fast, or Turnt. Um, but I think I picked DB Cooper and Tort kind of as a strategic pick there. Because I know if I drop Turnt, I know Lavine picks him up. Um, and then Unreal is likely going to take VSD Steve there for the combo. Um, I think all 8 of these picks though right here are just amazing players. I think you throw these 8 names into a hat, and no matter who is picking there, they're going to be picked, and there's a random slot in those first 8 picks. Like these, all 8 of these people are gonna go absolutely crazy in this comp, and they're just gigantic brain players at minimum.
I think that it is a bit early VST first round and third overall. I think that is pretty early. Like in the fantasy comp, he was like picked in the second to last round, I think, or in the last round. Like he was one of the last picks of the whole comp. So the fact that you need to expend your first round pick on him to secure him is obviously sucks. I think in terms of like squeezing out as much value as possible. But yeah, maybe it was necessary to do that. But I think he also like forced to do that because he thought that you might have picked him if given the chance.
Yeah,
That it wasn't going to come back to him. So
I think he has to
yeah,
take VSD or I guess Tortunama there if he wants to
yeah,
build. Because I mean, we kind of all knew he was going to try to build this BHB team again from the fantasy draft. And I mean,
yeah,
VSD is just coming off of performing exceptionally well in fantasy as well. I know he went
yeah,
super late, but I don't think anyone expected him to drop just constant 130 plus weeks. I think he even did a 150 in finals. I mean, he's well known. He did multiple great years. I don't think he like I think it's totally fine that he went third overall. I think maybe you switch him with fast, but I think the nameplate on the captain definitely makes him fine there to go third.
yeah.
I think Unreal's draft was I think he has to pick him there, or he knows that I'll take him on the double right behind him. So
I,
I think he
I
played that
thought he
well.
was just, yeah, I thought he was just gonna try and get fast as his third pick, and then the turn comes back around to him, and he would fire up VSD after that, so he would get fast in VSD. But yeah, maybe that wouldn't be possible. But because I obviously don't know what your plans are, but I definitely wasn't going to pick VSD there regardless, or Minilinski for that matter. So that would be right open for him, unless you had taken him, of course. So like I think it's just mind games between you and him, really.
Yeah,
Like he's probably
big time.
thinking that you are gonna go there, so he wants to secure it as well. And I think it's unfortunate for him because I think his draft suffers a little bit from that opening that he doesn't get as much value out, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I kind of had him checkmated there. Because I think if he takes fast, then I think he loses VSD and Steve, which is Minilinski. And I think if he takes turn there, he also loses VSD and Steve. So I think he just has to take the VSD if he wants him. And I think VSD is such a big part of his draft. I think he
Yeah,
has to take him there on three. He's just checkmated because I have the double pick. I have infinite leverage with that. Um,
it's like the experience gap here. Like he's 17 years old. Of course, you're gonna expect him to make mistakes, right? We're like 40 and 45, so
okay, bro. I,
like
my age doesn't even start with a three yet. Relax.
okay,
But
youngster.
but yeah, I don't even think it is lack of experience because I just don't think he can take fast there. I think it's probably like maybe the better pick, but I think we're talking about a difference of like very minimal, very minimal. I think VSC can easily. I think he can outperform fast if needed. I think VSC is a very good comp player.
He
I
is a very good comp player, and also like we just saw him in fantasy, he did play insane hours, and now it's back to his main account, an account he probably maybe cares more about than his Ironman account that he's usually playing on in comp. So, and now there's a potential to grab a high spot on the high score. So yeah, maybe that could motivate him even more, and he's already good already. So
yeah,
yeah,
I like
it's
it a
definitely
lot.
definitely a good pick. Yeah, definitely a good pick.
So moving down some here, I think we have. So we've talked about top eight. Kind of want to move it
Yeah,
forward to the latter end of round two, and then we can kind of just talk about round three and four as a whole. Um,
I just want to quickly talk about the Hidi and Hibox Yonge. What do you think?
I think the Hitty pick is fine. I think it's a good pick. Um, I know Hitty and Enjoys are good friends. Hitty goes hard in these comps. I think he's motivated. Um, I personally, if I'm Glad's there, I think I take Enjoys and Hebox Jong. Because then you just have infinite information for your team, and you're kind of blocking that off from all of the other captains. No shade on Hitty though. I think Hebox and Hitty will probably do similar hours. But I think Hebox, with being one of the developers, I think he's probably like just getting that combo. I think that would have went better for Glads. Um, but I think both picks are probably just. I think I had them both on my sheet as just about the same hours personally.
Yeah. And like you said, I do think it's a perfectly viable combo to open up with. Like you start with the first round on Hibox Yonge and then you go into Hidi in the second round. I think that's actually good because I think they pair very well. They have played in Terry Comp together as a duo before and won. And like you get, like you said, all the knowledge from Hibox Yonge, and then you have Hidi. He's a great locker room experience as well, and they pair well. They synergize, and then you can always pair it with other Dutch people or whatever. You know you're gonna have great locker room presence as well, and you're gonna have the hours there too. So I actually think that Hibox Yonge and Hidi as a duo would be pretty big to start off with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was doing some mock drafts when I was preparing for this, and I was either gonna build Team Finland or I was gonna build Team Netherlands. I built Team
Mm,
Netherlands in one of the Christmas comps. I think I picked like seven Dutch players, and
holy.
it worked really well for me. I think we were on pace to win, but I think that was just some internal issues with the team. I think we got behind a little bit, but I think the locker room experience is really good. When you can get a lot of people from the same country on one team, I think it's really good. Always a buff to the entire team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so moving forward, we have round three and round four. I'd like to talk about these kind of together just to save time. Um, any general thoughts on round three and four?
I don't know, like I'm pretty happy with my picks, and for me, it's pretty hard to evaluate some of the picks by the other teams because I don't really know what sort of hours they're gonna do. I think the Randalicious pick is pretty good from Glads, and I would probably have taken Randy as well here because I think he will have a high play volume. I think he's motivated, but a lot of the other ones are pretty questionable, especially on Reales. They stand out to me here as particularly bad. Like they are some of the worst picks I've seen.
Yeah, I think Unreal was definitely counting on Tortunama being there for him on round three. Not really sure who's planning on picking on round four, but I think he kind of panic picked and just picked based on hours. Um, I'm happy with who I got. I wanted Moxie for the Finland team building, and then I wanted Jimmy. I think Jimmy's a up and coming player. I think he's low EHP, but I think he's motivated. He's super active in the community. I
Yeah,
definitely
he's for
wanted,
the boys player as
yeah,
well.
I had to snatch him there because I know when it comes back around to me, he's gone. So I think I have to pick
Yeah,
him there. But overall, I'm super happy with my 3-4 there. Um, I think your 3-4 there is really strong as well. You get the Paul Beer and the Marnie. Uh,
yeah,
I think that's super clean. You get the hours from Paul Beer. You got the Marnie brains.
yeah,
I think PVMers were really. I think picking PVMers is really good in this style of comp because PVMers always do stuff on release. That's really why I value the DB Cooper so high. Um,
yeah,
I just remember DB Cooper on Tob release, like completely smashed it, as well as TOA release. These guys are used to waking up at whatever o'clock the update comes out and just learning it and figuring it out and just beating the shit out of it. I'm
that's
really
true.
happy that I got at least two PVMers very early.
Yeah, I think that's true for PVMers, but also if you play like leagues or something like that or deadman mode, like because you have to like think on your feet. You have to adapt quickly, and you don't know, like nothing is figured out. You have to figure things out by your own, right? If you want to progress, and I think that's sort of like similar. What's going to be valuable here, quality that will be valuable more than just playing like the raw hours. Like in some sense, I think like some Iron Men might also be really strong here because like they're also pretty good to adapt to metas and come up with stuff and brain and meta think and all that.
Yeah. I don't understand the Pogba pick so early. I think that's just another
Yeah, I
um,
don't get it.
panic pick. Maybe just look at hours. Maybe inexperience here. I think maybe he doesn't. Just looking at
It's
hours,
like it.
like again, like I said, um, I don't know why he doesn't like Karma open, bro. Why are we not picking Karma there? I think I think Karma picked on four for Unreal in round four. I think that maybe could have made his team pretty strong. I think Karma going all the way down to round five is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Especially, I think Karma's motivated. I think he's a really good pick. I wanted to slam the Karma, but you took him from me.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think the Pogba combo. I mean, they could play, but I think they're just picked a little bit early.
I agree. I don't understand. I don't understand Seam or Pogba. I think both are terrible picks here. Like Seam for me is just really hard capped. I mean, he is tournament all and he might be motivated to potentially get a good rank, but I think there's a clear ceiling for this guy in my opinion. It's not very high. And then you have Pogba, like he's just a mental head case. I don't know why you would prioritize him. Like nobody else is gonna look for him this early at all.
Nah,
Like
no
it's
shot.
so dangerous. Like so why are you like you're putting a like you're prioritizing him. Like I understand if you want to take a chance on him later, maybe like round 8, 9-ish, but like to do it this early is completely unnecessary. Nobody would want to. I can't see any other captain picking him this early. Like that's so random. So I think these two picks are really terrible for Unreal.
Yeah. Moving on along, we can talk about. Let's do 5 through 7 next. Um,
We can also just go to the power rankings.
do you want? Let's talk about the Iron Man first, if you'd like,
Okay.
just real
Yeah.
quick. I know we're short on time. Um,
Yeah.
so overall, I think the Iron Man draft pretty much went exactly how I expected, besides the Deco pick in round one. Um, I think Deco is just grief 1 million comps in a row. I actually had him in a separate category on my draft sheet of do not pick. Um, but I think Glad's maybe able to get him to play, maybe get him to pop off, maybe he'll want to keep his really high rank. But I was shocked that Steve Skillalt was left open for me to pick on 3. Um,
Yeah.
I know Florals is going to be a synergy pick for Alex, and Yeet has done exceptionally well in comps in the past, but I was shocked Unreal didn't take Steve Skillalt there. I think this guy is super prepared for Sailing to come out. I think he's big brain. I think he's always shown that he's incredibly good at the game throughout his way to tournament law. I was shocked that that was left open for me. I was hoping to get him, but I was surprised.
Yeah. Um. Like for me, Flawless would also have been my like first pick if I was given the chance. But I actually disagree a little bit with that. I think Mage is a little bit a stronger pick than Stee, to be honest. I don't know about knowledge. I think maybe Stee is probably a more experienced Iron Man who knows more metas and is better at adapting and stuff. I think he's definitely better than Mage in that regard. But in terms of hours and stuff, I think Mage is a more capable comp player right now than Stee is. I think Stee has shown a little bit of slack in some of his recent comp performances. Uh, yeah, it just depends on the form that he's in because in the past he's obviously also done very well. But Mage is a very, very seasoned comp player at this point. So I can totally understand and justify that pick from Unreal. I don't think it's the worst thing he's done, definitely.
Yeah, not
But
the
yeah,
worst.
still a good pick. Yeah, still a
Definitely a
great
good
pick by
pick.
you though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm super happy with Steve. And I also get Cavo right after. I'm shocked that that was left open for me. Just another Finnish player to add to the roster. Just
yeah. Like yeah,
infinite
Cabo
Finnish
definitely one
people.
of the better names. Yeah,
Yeah, overall, I think the Iron Draft went kind of exactly how we expected it to go. Florals, Yeet, Steve, Fincher, those 4 are just really good Iron Men, ready to put up
yeah,
some hours. Yeah, I'm super happy with my Iron Draft as well. No UIMs on my team. Everyone has access to a bank. Super excited about that.
yeah.
Not too
Could
sure
be big.
how much it'll be affected though. We'll have to see. Obviously, this is all we don't know the meta. Um, any of these picks could be amazing, and they seem bad at the start. But yeah, if you'd like to get to the power rankings, we can.
Yeah, I think we should just move to that.
Okay, let me make sure I'm scrolling this right so the OBS can see it. Okay, you want to start us off here?
Yeah, like in first place, I have your team. We obviously excluded our own teams from the power ranking, so we're just going off our opponent's team. And yeah, I have your team as number 1, Bailey. I think there's so much potential in a lot of those picks. Like there's so many unknowns. Um, it's really hard to call. But I think that like someone like Tupaki, for example, I don't know what sort of hours he's gonna do, but I think the potential is there if he's really gonna play. So like I just think it's the unknown factor of your team that really it's hard to place, but I think it makes it the scariest team because I think a lot of these other teams are hard, like they have a ceiling in terms of how many hours they can put out. So like I think the potential is high with your team. Also like Surge, we don't know what a player like that is gonna do, like because it could be anything. But I think it makes your team very dangerous when you have these sort of players. And I also think like your Iron picks, extremely strong. Like I think also the fact you got shampooed late.
Oh yeah, that was super clean. I
That
I think
that's
both of our teams, and I think the reason why we both put each other first is I think both of us drafted complete depth. I think both of our
yeah
teams have insane depth. You know, like all of our players can likely do above 70, right around 100, 100 plus. We have plenty of needs. There's not really many people on our team that are like completely fucked with work. Um, I don't know.
yeah
I just think each of these other teams, I think maybe like Glad's in a close second. I'm not sure if he has any like fumble late round picks where they're, like just really busy with work. But I think all three of the like my team, your team, and Glad's, I think we just got so much depth out of our draft. I think
yeah.
almost everyone can at least put up like 90 plus at minimum.
Exactly. Like there's both depth and there's the potential, right? So many players of your team, for example, they just have the potential to go complete nuclear.
Yeah,
It's just that it's about whether they will actually like utilize the potential, realize the potential they have. But regardless, there's depth and there's potential, there's pop. It's yeah, I think your team is the scariest one, in my opinion.
yeah.
So yeah, do you want to talk about my team? Like what do you like about it? What you
I
kind of
mean,
just
it's kind of like this. I feel like your team is very similar to mine. The only thing that's different is I have like 10 Finnish people on my team, and you have like a bunch of like just really solid, just like I said, just depth players. You have your 1-2. You have fast and turn. I think that's really good top five contenders for tournament sailing. Very like just amazing at comps as well. They both have done 140 plus, 150 somewhere in there. Um, I think you also did really well in the middle rounds. I think your bottom rounds, you picked pretty good depth as far as that goes. I feel like your later rounds you didn't make any mistakes. You didn't pick a person that has a job that's you didn't pick them like in the ninth round. You would pick them in like the 13th round. I think your Ironman draft is really good, especially if UIM isn't completely smoked in this.
yeah.
You get Azula in the second round of the Iron. I think that's an amazing value pick as long as he can sail and he can play. Um,
Yeah, because that's the scary thing. Like, because if you get like a point 0.5 method as a UAM, then it doesn't matter if you do a 140 or 150 because
yeah,
that's gonna be a 70 to 75, right?
it's
Which is like
shot.
kind of mid.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it really makes a huge difference if it's like a point 0.5 thing or if you can get it like a point 0.8 thing. Like, it's really gonna be huge.
yeah. Um, Moving on to rank two of our power rankings, we both picked Glads. Um,
Yeah.
I think Glads just has a solid team. I think his draft is pretty synergetic. He has a lot of Hexus folks. I fucking love the Randy pick. I can't lie. I think Randy
Yeah.
is super pumped for sailing. It's cool to see like one of the like ancient players like come back and they're just fucking ready. They got the 5 hour energy drawer and they're ready to fucking game. I'm super excited to see Glad's turnout. I think he's got enjoys. He's got the depth there. He's got the locker room. He's really good at motivating players. Um, I would say like me and Glad sent almost everyone a DM went during prep. I know me and him both ran mock drafts to kind of figure out who the other captains were picking, see if we can get some steals in our draft as well to kind of steal away players from other captains. Yeah, I think it's just a great overall team. Not sure about their ceiling. I know a lot of these players are proven. Um, yeah, I would just say like they're just an overall. I even had you and Glad's kind of tied, but I think your Iron Man team kind of just swings it for me to get them into rank one. Um, it's really all about Deco, bro, for me. I think Deco is just if he plays, I think Glads can easily win the comp. I think if Deco trolls though, I think they kind of fall apart.
Yeah. I also have them in second place, and yeah, I think this team is extremely strong too. like you said, like the start of the draft, like enjoy City Randalicious. That's really good. And I was also surprised that he picked Randy here because I thought he would never pick a guy like him. But but he's actually picking with the brain as well. And
Oh
I think
yeah,
it is a yeah. I didn't expect him to pick like someone he doesn't get along very well with. So, but yeah, Randy is strong, and the middle picks are good too. I think like did this, but there's definitely potential. Nightlow uh, could also be extremely motivated potentially. And I even think there's good value in someone like Bales in the ninth round. You don't
yeah,
want to pick him too early because he's all over the place. But like Bales was a name at this point in the draft that I was looking for to see if I could get. So I think there's high value there in Bales. I feel like if you compare with the names next to him like Swifts and Figo, I think Bales is better potential there.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, Bales is full neat, dude. That dude has never worked a day in his life. Probably never will. Um,
yeah,
so I think I think he gets the clean picks. He's not, he's not picking people that have a job in the ninth round. He's not willingly picking people that aren't taking the comp seriously. I think it's just a good overall draft. Um,
yeah.
great, great.
But like you said, like the DK Ho pick also has me a little bit concerned because I don't think DK Ho is the most for the boys type of player anymore. I don't know if he ever was, but at this time around, he will at the very least play for himself, right? And he might want to prove himself because everyone is hyping up all these other Iron Men. No one is really talking about DK Ho potentially being the future rank one Iron Man. Maybe he wants to prove people wrong, or maybe he's motivated by that. So that's at least good because in terms of like playing for the team and being motivated by uh, pushing the team forward, that doesn't really work on DKO. He's like in his own lane, doing his own thing.
Yeah,
And these other picks, like these other Iron Man picks, they are okay, I guess. I like the Potato Legs pick and Lane maybe a bit too early. I don't know,
I
but I think Lane is good for sure. But
I think
I don't
Lane
know.
is
Maybe you could.
I think the lane is fine. I predicted Glads to pick Lane there on my
Okay.
mock drafts just due to
Yeah.
they played together really well in I believe it was the summer comp, maybe Terry last year. But yeah, I think Glad's picked Lane. I think Lane dropped like a 140. I think
Yeah. Okay.
Lane's full neat. I think they've done well in comps in the past. I think that's totally fine. I think maybe you take the
Yeah.
Azula, maybe the Cavo there. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't think it shakes out too much of a difference. I think it's fine.
Yeah, okay. I kind of wanted Lane as well, but I was hoping that he was going to be available in the third round. But maybe that's a bit naive. So yeah, let's take some there. And yeah, I think it's a good draft. Sure, they will be up there. Like I can't see Glass's team finishing dead last, no matter what.
Yeah, me
This team
neither.
is really it's just solid, right?
Yeah,
There aren't too many head cases. There's a couple, but it's just solid. I think
I agree.
like this team will not finish last no matter what.
I absolutely agree. Um, so moving on to, I mean, we pretty much match every pick from here on. Moving on to number three, obviously leaving our own out. We have the Straw Hat Pirates, which is Alex's team. Me personally, I'm putting him third here, um, just because I think he has some fumble picks in these later rounds. We get the Woohoo in round five. Um, I don't know about that one, Chief. Um, I think Pyro is really good in round six. You get the information, that's really good synergy with the team. Um, Shipole, TNF, I think these are fine picks. But then you see him just willingly pick these people that are just worked. Swift's he's got to work all week, brother. Like I don't know. And then we're picking Nancy in the 10th round.
Yeah.
Also got to work. Also has dinner plans, every night. Got to go out with the girlies. Um, and then we're picking Clouds.
Priorities.
I think Clouds is fine there. I think that's good value. He's got to work, but he's going in the 11th round. I think that's fine. I think his Iron Man draft is really solid, but I don't know about this main draft. I think we're willingly picking, just the most worked team ever in these later rounds.
Yeah. I think he opens up solid. Like he is first overall pick, so hopefully he should get it away with some good value. But he also does because he gets Necro in the first round, really good, and then in the second round he gets Hibok Yongge, which is also really strong for me. Like like just two pretty solid players, I think. Songcry in third is good, but then I don't know what he's doing here in the fourth round and onwards. Like it gets a little bit confusing what I'm getting from him. Like Sean Bay, do you really need to pull the trigger on him this early? And Woohoo, I don't know. This also seems early. Early. Then you have the only Pyro. I think that's a good pick. Like it's a good locker room pick. Someone who is really interested and motivated for sailing. But again, does it have to be sixth round? I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know. But like I think everything seems a little too early, and again, like the late round picks, a bit questionable. Like Swifts is just gonna, yeah. I think when you have players like Swifts, Nancy, Klaus, these sort of players, like they give you the chance that you will actually finish that last, even though we didn't put this team that last in the power rankings. But like they could like this team could just fall completely through, I think. But the iron picks are also pretty good, like you said, like Flawless Static paired with Necro, like just
Yeah, I think they
people
definitely have the
who
boys, but I think they lack depth and they lack a bottom half. I think their bottom half is just missing.
very weak, very
Yeah,
weak. Yeah, it's really hard to see the path to victory for this team, in my opinion. Like I can see it for Glads, I can see it for your team, I can see it for my team, but I can't really see it here. Like I don't know what the criteria for success would be. Like, what do they need to activate in order to go all the way? Like, it's so hard. Like for me, it's very hard because you're just not gonna get someone like Swift to do 100, for example. Like, where are the hours gonna come from that's gonna threaten these other teams? I can't really see it. I think.
I don't see it either. I think yeah, I just think they're just so top heavy. I think the first three
Yeah.
picks were amazing, and then from there it's just kind of just a big question mark. Where who is playing the game on this team?
And it's just so hard, right? When you have 17 players in a comp, like your first three picks only make up so little of the total sum of hours that you're gonna do that it's just not enough if you have three producing players. Like you need the middle players and you need some late round greatness to come through in order to like have hours that are uh, capable of being competitive, right?
Absolutely.
It's not enough. It's not enough with three players. So yeah, it could go both ways for this team, but there are a lot of players at the bottom that needs to come through that I'm not expecting them to
Yeah,
just by looking at the names.
we're gonna need them to lock in.
Yeah,
So moving on, we obviously both picked Unreal's team as well as the power rankings, also putting him last. Um, I do think that Unreal's team is not very far from Alex's team. The power rankings have Alex at like a 2.75, and Unreal's like almost everyone put him last. I don't think these teams
yeah,
are very far apart, personally. I think the VSD Steve combo is just absolutely nuts. You also have a great Iron Draft. You have Yeet, you have Yasina. I think the top two picks on the main and Iron Draft are just amazing. But I think we kind of just start puking like down towards the middle picks in the main draft, especially. Um, we have the Zine, we have the Pogba, we have Gustav. Who knows if Gustav's gonna play? I think that's a little early. Um, Yukika's busy after first couple days of the comp, and then we're just picking just work, 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 work again. Um, I like the
yeah,
players, but I just don't like again. I just don't see the depth. I like he's picking friends and like even my friends as well, but I just don't think that this team has the depth to win it personally.
yeah. Like there are too many like unknowns there. Like, and you need all of them to activate, and you might only be able to activate a couple of them. It's looking really rough, I think, for this team. Like like we talked about before, this team and Pogba pick way too early for those guys, and Gustav is a question mark. Yukika is probably not going to do too many hours. What about Pooley? What condition is he in? Like, probably nothing special. And then Puff, like, Puff is probably like, he's the same sort of player like Swift is, right? The same sort of issues. Figo probably not gonna be playing very much. Like, yeah, it's I really don't like this team. I think they might have made like if you activate all of these cards, they might have more potential than Alex's team. But yeah, I think a lot of these players will not produce very many hours.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for those guys to win, but I think they're just the most top heavy team by far. Um, but yeah, I think they probably have a decent locker room though. I mean these are a lot of my friends as well. Um, but I just don't see where the hours are coming from. And I think he picked a UIM in the fourth round. I don't know. I'm just so terrified of these UIM picks. I really on my sheet I just really tried to avoid that. And he's just
Yeah,
willingly slamming it in the fourth round. I don't know. It's just worrisome, especially with it being a new skill. Um, like some UIM skills, they get like zero point 0.1 of main XP. So I don't know. We'll have to see what the meta is and how it tricks out and how much prep they have to do and how many items they have. But um, yeah, I think putting them last is probably the safest bet. I think you could maybe swap him and Alex, but I think
yeah.
the top three teams are definitely my team,
I think like
Lavines and Glads.
yeah. I think like you said before, like with the score, with the weighted averages of the captains of the power rankings, I don't think it really does justice to Unreal's team because, like you said, I don't think he's that far off from Alex. Like that would indicate. Um, but it is just because we all put him dead last, right?
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, and yeah, I think he's pretty close to Alex. Honestly,
yeah.
yeah.
I think
I think
I
it's
think
gonna
it's fair to put either of them in three or
yeah
four, personally.
yeah. I think it's like the three of us, Glads, me, and you at the top, like competing for the victory, in my opinion, and then Alex and Unreal fighting at the bottom, right?
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I think that is. I think we've just about discussed everything. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Not really, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm excited for this comp. I hope everyone has a good time. I think this is going to be one of the best comps of the year, maybe of all time. I think we have 85 signups. I wanted to show my appreciation to the Solace Gens for running this. I know it's not easy to run these humongous comps. I know it does make it a little bit easier because we don't have to worry about scaling. Not really any drama with that, so that's good. Um, but yeah, best of luck to all players and all captains and all teams.
Yeah, good luck to all teams and good luck to all players. Have fun.
All right, I'm gonna end it there. Thanks so much, guys.